IT guys trying to figure out what to do with our recording.
No. Oh no, that's not good.
No,
Okay,
it's not.
we'll try this again. Okay, well, welcome everyone. Let's just, I'll just say who's here for the minutes. So Tanya, Ken, Nate, and Joey are all here, and Kenneth. So we'll just start with our agenda for the evening. So we'll do opening, we're going to do an update on the CDBG-CV funding and allocations. We'll discuss allocation recommendation and new requests. We'll discuss some future recommendations, and then we'll review the upcoming regular CDBG process. We need to select some commission members for the Joint Commission, talk about commission membership, and then we can go from there. Does that sound good to everyone?
Sounds great.
And Ken, you know, pipe in since you've been involved a lot in this. So, so just kind of an overview of what's happened with the CDBG-CV allocation. So initially we received $418,983. So we've allocated a little, almost $210,000 to date. That has gone to administration, the Family Support and Treatment Center, to RAW, to Kids on the Move, to the Orem Senior Friendship Center, and Community Action Services and Food Bank. So that's all been approved by the council. We have agreements with each of them. And so, so from that initial allocation, we had a little over $202,000 to allocate. Recently, we just found out that we were receiving an additional allocation of almost $287,000, almost $288,000. It won't be available until late October, early November. So that's good and bad. It's good to have more money, bad because I'm not sure what we're going to do with it. So we have a total allocation amount available of almost $490,000. So that is a good thing. So any questions on that?
Well, I agree. It is a good thing. So I think that it's a better problem to have more funding than you know what to do with and not to have enough, I think.
Yeah, definitely. So just before we look at some recommendations, I just wanted to remind you that the Orem City Council, the priorities for the money are project serving Orem residents, first responder support, mental health, and domestic violence. So last week I got a call from HUD, or I had a call with HUD, and they have asked us to temporarily allocate the rest of the initial funding and notice it for a public hearing. So what they'd like us to do is just say, okay, the rest of the $202,000 we're going to put in public services or something. And then we can still allocate the funding to specific projects in the future. So it doesn't limit it. It's just a process thing. So that is one thing that we need to decide on tonight, if we want to just put it all into public services, and then we can move it around if we need to. That was what we were thinking would be the easiest thing to do. And then we've got a request from Geneva Elementary School for Plexiglass dividers for lunchroom tables to help with social distancing. And that's a request of $4,500. So what I did is I meet with all of our principals in our 6 eligible neighborhoods, which are four schools. So Sharon Park, Geneva, Suncrest, and Westmore. And we were just talking about this money. And I said, you know, if you have some COVID related needs that the district isn't being able to pay for, or your budget isn't being able to pay for, we could maybe help you with that. And so this was that was the request that we received from Geneva. I believe we'll have some additional requests from the schools, but I told them I needed them by today and I haven't heard from anyone yet. So those are the 2 requests for this evening. So I don't know if you guys want to have some discussion around that. With the HUD thing, if everyone's okay with that, if I could just have someone make a motion to allocate the $202,032.66 to public services.
Kind of quick question.
Oh, actually, we should wait until we talk about Geneva.
Yeah. So question, Kenneth. If we put it in public services, then we can move it anywhere else, or are we kind of stuck? So this is really just, we're going to stick it somewhere and then we can move it back out anywhere later.
Right. And I've already done that in the computer, so I'm not sure why they basically just want us to notice the money. So that's basically the problem, is that we didn't notice the full amount. And so that's what they want us to do, which is not what they told me to do initially. So, so if we put it all, you know, we could just make a recommendation that all outstanding money goes into, for the, well, excuse me, from the initial allocation. We'll deal with the other money later, but from the initial allocation, if we could put that into public services. So let's just make that motion now, and then we can talk about Geneva's. So if anyone like to make that motion.
I'll motion to allocate the additional funds to public services.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. And then how do you feel about the Geneva Elementary School request?
I say give them their partition dividers, but
Okay.
sounds like a reasonable request in these times.
Yes, I guess they're really struggling at lunchtime, because you know how kids are. They want to.
Yeah, they won't stay apart.
Yeah. So, so does someone want to make a motion?
I'll motion to fund the Geneva lunchroom partition dividers.
Okay. A second?
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right, thanks on that. So moving on. So these are just some possible CDBG-CV allocation requests that might be coming in the future, some of the things that we've talked about. So like I said, some of the Title I schools might have some COVID-related needs. We are running into, so just before we go into anything else, so there's as I think we've talked about, there is a lot of money that has come into our community, a lot of money. It's all COVID related, which is kind of a problem in a way, because we're not seeing the COVID needs that maybe other communities have seen. And so we are running into those duplication of benefit issues on some of the things that people have discussed potentially of wanting money for, because there's other money out there for it. So basically, I think we've talked about this before, but with CDBG money, we're not supposed to be funding something that other funds can't fund unless the problem is greater than the amount of money out there. So that's what we keep running into with the rental and mortgage assistance issues. Community Action got over $3 million for rental assistance. And yes, the need is out there and they're starting to see a greater need for it, but the money's going to be there for a minute. So when we talk about rental and mortgage assistance, we most likely would not be able to do rental assistance for a while, at least, probably, who knows, potentially mortgage assistance, because there's not as much money out there. But so that's one thing we've talked about. We talked about in our last email about Central Hispano putting together kind of their own assistance program for people of color in our community. They just received an almost $500,000 grant from Utah County. Utah County received $110 million, which is more than their budget, their yearly budget. They did give some of those funds to each of the cities. So this isn't CDBG money. This is just what they call CARES Act money. And so then they took 20 million of that money and they offered $15 million to businesses, and they offered $5 million to nonprofits. And it doesn't have all the strings that ours does to it. And so they did award Central Hispano almost $500,000. So we feel like that's probably going to be enough for them. If not, they may come back to us in the future, but I just wanted to give you an update on that. So they are going to be able to do their program potentially without CDBG money because of that grant that they received. Any questions on that? So we decided, Provo City, Utah County and I decided to do a another kind of a joint application process. So we created a small application for public service organizations. We will send that out beginning October 13th. And we can see what other needs are out there to see if there's anything that we can do with this money. So that will be coming on tap around, at least the application will go out to the nonprofits on October 13th. So we may be seeing other needs there. I don't know if anyone else has any other suggestions or ideas. Orem City got 6.9 million from that 110 million that the county got. So a lot of the needs that Orem City would have are being taken care of. And so that's kind of where we're at. So I don't know if you guys have any ideas that what we can do with this almost $500,000, or think about that, or if you hear of needs in the community, things like that, that we could reach out to. So,
Kenneth, is there like a time, is there like a date that we need to have
there is. It's kind of interesting. So they have given us the date of August 2021. Things allocated. That doesn't mean it has to be spent. So it would just be, we've approved this for this organization or whatever. And then they have up to 6 years to spend it.
Okay.
Wow. Preferably 3 years, but they could go up to 6 years. Mm-hmm. So I think they have to spend 80% of it in 3 years and all of it in 6 or something like that. So, but we would have to have it at least allocated or committed by August of 2021. So,
okay, thanks.
Keep that in mind. Any other ideas or suggestions or questions on that? Okay, so let's talk about something that's not COVID related.
Sorry, I have a question. I just couldn't unmute fast enough.
Oh, you're fine.
So working with kids at schools, a lot of kids are back home now doing online school. Mm-hmm. There's needs for better technology because a lot of them just have the Chromebooks from the schools and those aren't good and a lot of times don't work well at home. There's need for access to internet and there's need for online tutoring. Is there any organization that offers that kind of stuff that we could work with?
Potentially, we could potentially actually talked about doing Chromebooks or iPads or something for kids, low-income kids. So we have discussed that with the principals as well. And we can do internet too. So we can pay for internet. One of the things that we thought would be easier is if we paid for with Utopia, if we paid for someone's connection to Utopia, then they can go through Xfinity or Comcast to get their $10 a month internet. So that's just some of the things that we have talked about. And I think that's worth further discussion, especially if kids are more and more kids are going home. So good idea, Joey. And I don't know about the online tutoring. We haven't talked about that yet, but that potentially could be something as well.
Yeah, I don't know if Boys and Girls Club or any of the organizations we work with do that, but maybe they have a bare bones that they could add to.
Yeah, I will bring that. I'll reach out to the director of Boys and Girls Club and just say that this is something we might be interested in. And see if they have needs that way. And then I will, we can bring that back up to the schools about the iPads or laptops or whatever as well. And open that up more to the other principals, maybe throughout Orem as well. So those are two really good ideas. The other thing is I did reach out to the Housing Authority of Utah County to see if any of those, any of their units or any of their clients, their Section 8 clients here in Orem have any needs for internet, and she did not get back to me. So I'll follow up with her on that too. So any other things? Anything else on that?
So I just have a question about one of the of our prior meetings. You know, we talked about how housing issues or housing was going to become a challenge for a lot of people, and that we would be seeing that a little bit later. And I think you mentioned something about it in this meeting, and touched on it. But what's the projection for that? Is there any kind of a projection, and any thoughts about maybe allocating some funding for that down the road if necessary?
So they feel at this point, they feel like they have, with the rental assistance funding, they feel like they probably are going to have enough.
Oh, okay.
Assistance funding. They don't know that for a fact, but they feel that just based on what they are seeing. Definitely it has increased in the last couple of weeks. I think 2 weeks ago, they had served 77 families with rental assistance in that last week or so. So it is becoming a greater need. I think mortgage assistance is probably where we're going to make a bigger impact. But that's kind of a wait to see, because they didn't get as much mortgage assistance money as rental assistance money.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The other thing is we just received about $800,000. So for homeless services, because, you know, I've been thinking a lot about that because I know that they've got high COVID rates up in Salt Lake in some of the shelters. But they just received another, so Brent Crane from Food and Care got $1 million to work on his 72 unit project on his location down in Provo from that county money. And then there was some homeless service funds of 800,000 that came in, and a lot of the organizations that work with homeless was able to get money through them as well. So it's just kind of a wait to see approach on what the needs are going to be. So I think these are great ideas. I think we just have to wait and see, especially in. So my brain's tired tonight. Sorry, I'm stumbling, but you know, especially for some of these things that there's already money for, that it's out there. But I don't, you know, with the tutoring, the computers and iPad and the internet, I think that's something we could really look at.
Okay.
So, anything else on CDBG-CV? Okay, let's talk about regular CDBG. So this is going to be our process for 2021 to 2022. So we're going to have a very similar or the same process as last year. Does anyone have any concerns around that process? Okay, so we are doing how to apply workshops. So if you guys want to attend one of these, just let me know and I'll send you to the Zoom link. So we'll be doing one October 8th at 10 and October 13th at 2. And we'll be doing these workshops jointly. I'm not going to have my own workshop because we're just going to have any Orem only people come to these workshops as well. And I only know of one right now, so. So pre-applications will be available October 14th. One of the reasons that we're holding off on the CV applications as well as we are going to talk about CV money at these how to apply workshops as well. And then the mandatory pre-applications will be due on Friday, December 4th. Some of you came to our pre-application review last year, and we'd invite you to do that again. This is where we go through the pre-applications and see if they're worthy projects or not, and if we want to give them an application. That will be held the week of December 7th. Final applications will be due in February. We will be doing site visit. I should have put that first, but we will be doing site visits and monitoring again in January. So if you guys want to help me with those, I love when you go with me on those. And then we'll do Orem only and joint commission meetings in March. City council presentations will be in April and May like last year, and then we'll do an awardee workshop in May. So we'll be doing it the same way. We'll have the same application and all of that. And we'll be doing those joint commission meetings and Orem only commission meetings for the Orem only projects. Does that sound good to everybody?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So who wants to serve on the joint commission this year? So we need 2 of you to serve on that commission. I don't know. Ken and Joey did it last year. I don't know if we want to switch it up, if you 2 want to do it again. It's usually just an extra couple of meetings, right? We just had 2 nights of presentation.
Yeah, it was super easy. I'd be willing to do it again, but if anyone else wants a turn, I'm fine with other people taking turns too.
Okay.
And I feel the same as Joey. This is Ken. I'm happy to let somebody else take a turn, and I'm also happy to do it again.
So Nate and Tanya.
This is Nate. I've got baby number 2 showing up in November, so I'm going to abstain. I've got my hands full.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
congratulations.
That's our reward for getting through the year.
Right. That's a good award. So do we, Tanya, do you
fine with I'm fine with waiting until next year to
okay.
participate in that if Ken and Joey want to do it this year, and then I will take a turn next year.
Okay. So you guys are good with being on the commission then?
I am, yes.
Okay. Joe, you're good with that then?
Yeah. That would be great.
Okay, so we probably need a motion, so maybe Tanya and Nate could do that.
I make the motion.
Okay.
I second it.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I
Awesome. This meeting's going really quick. I love it.
Yeah. Kenny, you run a tight ship on your meetings, so good
Thank
job.
you. So committee membership. So I don't mean to put everyone on the spot right here, but you all want to continue? And we still need 3 new commission members. So I know a couple of you are going to expire in the next couple of months. And I'm not quite sure, I mean, how we ended all of that discussion. I know we ended, that was a 2-year term, but now we've moved to 3-year terms and that kind of thing. So if you guys don't feel like you want to continue, you can tell me later and we can work through that. But I would love to all 4 of you to stay on. So I'm not hearing I want to run. That's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, this is Ken. I'm happy to continue.
Yeah, I figured if I'm gonna do the joint commission, I'm
Right, I guess you're
continuing
gonna
it.
continue, right? Nate, are you good even with the new baby?
Count me in for now. We'll see what happens when he gets here.
Okay, awesome. And then Tanya, you're not expired yet, so you're good.
Nope, I'm not expired quite yet.
If you have any new, so I was telling some of them before the others got on, I've noticed lately that some of the other commissions have been having advertisements for needs of commission members in our social media. So I asked Pete, our social media guy, to start putting that in social media for us as well. And then I also, they're going to put it in the newsletter this month. So maybe that will generate some interest, but we still do need 3 new commission members to be a full commission. We'll miss Barbara, we'll miss Mathews, but we could use some more. If Mathews moves back to Orem, he could potentially come back to the commission, but right now he's living in Provo, so he can't be on the commission. So if you know of anyone, you just have them fill out the link that's on the website, or I can send you the link if you want me to. I think I have sent you the link before, but we're just looking for people just like you guys, good-hearted people that want to give money to people. So
Hannah, this is Tanya, and I would love to have the link again. Sorry, I could probably find it, but if you have it,
I'll send it out after the meeting. So that would be
great.
everyone.
Thank you.
All right. So questions. We probably don't need to have another meeting. I will just get back. I'll let I'll let everyone know the upcoming dates. If we're going to have that pre-application review, I'll let you know when that is. I'll send out the times and dates and things for the site visits and the monitoring visits. And then we'll probably just meet again in March for the commission meetings, but we'll see each other because we'll be going to all these other meetings as well. So any other questions, concerns?
Just a quick,
Yeah, Ken.
Chris, quick comment. I was going to say I could just send something out with all the dates. So there's a lot of dates to keep track of, but you already said you're going to do it. So thank you. That would be helpful.
Awesome. I'll just send, actually, I'll probably just send the slide deck out to you because it has all that information in it.
Have you been sharing screen?
Yeah, can you not see my screen?
Nope. I didn't know you were sharing a screen.
No one can see it?
I can see it.
I can see it.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
me. Sorry,
I
I'm
can
the
see it.
problem child.
Yeah,
Are you on a phone?
No, I'm on a laptop.
Oh, weird. Okay, well, I'll send the slide deck out to everyone. It has all the dates on it. It has all the amounts on it so that you guys can kind of see what we have available and what we're doing. So Ken, I will need you on October 13th again, just really quick, to make those presentations if you have time.
Okay.
If not, but yeah, and I'll get with you next week again on
Okay.
that. All right, if there's nothing else, that was a quick meeting. If we can just have a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second, all in favor?
Bye.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone. I hope everyone's well and having an okay time in this crazy time. And it's good to be with you all tonight. So have a good evening.
Thank you, and thanks for all your
Thanks.
help,
Thanks.
Anna.
You're welcome.
Take care, everybody.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.